You should be focusing all of your assets and time and money to get on as many game shows as possible to win money.
Don't waste your money renting. You're going to be giving your money to a landlord. Buy a house, it becomes an automatic asset.
You know, you're always trying to save money, but think about it. When has money ever tried to save you?
Oh, welcome back to everybody's favorite game show, Bad Financial Advice on TikTok.
I hate how people nowadays think that if they make $100K a year, they are rich. That is so far from the truth. $100K a year is nothing. Like, that is literally broke money. You gotta be making at least, I would say, 7 figures a year to be considered anywhere near rich, because that is going to get you somewhat closer to the life you want. It's still not a lot of money, but it will unlock things that you didn't have before. But 100K is not getting you anything. So you guys got to get that out of your head.
What's the worst finfluencer advice you've seen?
Saying that people needed to build up their savings before they were paying off their credit card debt. Financially, that's a huge mistake. Whatever the savings you have, pay off the credit card debt. Even if that means you're zeroed out, because the credit card debt costs you so much and the savings account is not earning you anything. And so you're just transferring value, which I thought was just numerically incorrect advice.
You need to completely rethink your personal financial strategies in your 20s. I know so many people who are trying to hop careers to gain salary. They're going to get an MBA to boost their salary. You should not be doing this. You should be focusing all of your assets and time and money to get on as many game shows as possible to win money. We all watch Deal or No Deal, Family Feud, Survivor growing up. None of us actually go and do it. I called my friend yesterday, very successful guy. I was like, have you tried going on Deal or No Deal? And he was like, no. And I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing with your time? You could, instead of having $1 million a year revenue business, you could just make $1 million in one night by selecting the right suitcase.
Do you want to know how to make your kid a millionaire? I mean, sure, I guess. Here's what you do. When they're born, you take $1,000 and you put it into a bank account, right? Okay. And then every month after that, you take another $500 and you put it into that same account. So as your child grows, so does the money in that account. And then finally, the day before your child turns 18, you go out, put another $500 in that account, and then you get run over by a post office truck. Excuse me? Yeah, you get run over by a post office truck, sue, settle, and then that 7-figure settlement should prove to be the nest egg that makes your child a millionaire. Seems like it's not worth it. Are you really saying it's not worth your child becoming a millionaire? Okay, but wait, what about the money in the account? What's that now? The money I've been putting into an account every month of my child's life? What about that? That's the beauty of this plan, man. See, everyone's gonna be so worried about you after your post office truck accident and so excited for you after your settlement that they're not even gonna be thinking about that money. What? Your kid, the IRS, those guys from the casino who keep threatening to break your legs. If you play this right, that money will slip right out of their minds and right into the palm of your hand. The money I've been saving for my child will slip into the palm of my hand? Yes, that's the beauty of... Oh my god, a post office truck is driving down the road right now. Are you in or out? Out. Obviously out. You're lost, mother... What? Where are you? Okay.
The 401k is so bad, if it didn't exist, we wouldn't invent it.
Many people, they'll say to me, I say, how you doing? They go, well, I built up $1 million in my 401k. And I go, you don't have $1 million in your 401k. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, first of all, half of that's the government.
Right. The second you take any money away.
Yeah, 50% tax back to this person.
That might be the dumbest thing I've heard all day. 50% is going to taxes? No way. Typically, you'll withdraw 4% annually, and on $1 million, that's $40,000 a year. After the standard deduction of $12,950, that leaves $27,050 as taxable income. You'd end up paying about $3,000 in taxes, which is about 7.5% of the $40,000 you took out. So don't be that guy and give the government 50% of your money. In fact, if you put it into the Roth portion of your 401k, it'll all be tax-free.
I'm seeing a lot of financial gurus spouting trash financial tips and money advice. Here are 4 things these hustlers are not telling you. Day trading. 85% of people lose money in the long term. I hate to break it to you, you will not be the exception. Debt, it's not evil. You do not need to be 100% debt free. I'm not. I have a mortgage. In fact, every rich person you know, your favorite celebrity, probably bought their house with a mortgage. Because if you can borrow money for cheaper than what you can make with it, you've created a money printer. When poor people borrow money, we call it debt, but when rich people borrow money, we call it leverage. Starbucks is not the reason you can't afford a house. If you cut out a $5 latte every day, in a year, you'd save $1,825. You can't buy a house with that, but you could buy something cooler than coffee. And last, you should not cancel old credit cards. It will shorten your credit history and it will ding your credit score. Just downgrade the card instead.
Take the $150, go buy you an 8-ball. Flip the 8-ball, you're gonna make $300 off that. Take the $300, get you a quarter. Take the quarter ounce, flip that silver outliers. Take the half ounce money, flip the half ounce money. Now you're ready for an ounce. You got a quarter key now. Now everybody in the neighborhood got on new sneakers.
Now, the worst financial advice I've ever received is that for me to win, you have to lose. That is bullshit. I mean, it is true. If you're on Wall Street, and believe me, I spend many a day there, that whole industry is built up on one person winning at the expense of the other person. And you can make money that way. If you want to be that competitive, go to town, bless your soul. But I do think there's a way to make even more money, which is a win-win scenario. You want to play positive sum games where if I bring an idea to you, there's a chance you make it better, and then it keeps going in a positive loop. We create something entirely new, and that's where real wealth generation happens.
You take a loan from the bank, it will take you 30 years to pay back. But if you rob the bank, after 10 years, they will release you.
All advice is not worth listening to, okay? So the worst financial advice that I feel like I've heard, there's been some really bad ones, but this one just really stuck out with me. So this girl tells me that she'd been talking to her mom, and she was like, yeah, Mom, you know, the Audi that I'm driving is a little bit expensive. I feel like I need a cheaper car. And her mom was like, yeah, you do need a cheaper car to like get around and run your errands and pick up your daughter and stuff like that. So she was like, just get another car. You need to just get a Hyundai. So you have your Audi. So you have your Audi for like when you want to like go out and do things and like maybe go to work, but you need like a little Hyundai to like skip around and like go to the grocery store and pick up your daughter and run errands. The whole premise here was that the Audi was too expensive. So why would you tack on another car on top of that with insurance, maintenance, car payment? That doesn't make any sense. It's got to be some of the worst financial advice I've ever heard.
Girl, I cannot come out this weekend. Honestly, I'm trying to save my money and I just don't have enough to go out, you know?
You know, you're always trying to save money, but think about it. When has money ever tried to save you?
I mean, you know, okay. I mean, I've never thought about it that way. You know, when you put it that way, it's... Can you expand?
Remember that time you were drowning in debt? Where was the money then?
I mean, that's why I was drowning in debt.
And it's just like every time you're trying to save, you know, you're putting $50 away every 2 weeks. But, you know, like... It's never tried to save you.
Okay, now you're getting out
of... If you think about it, the government is wanting...
Let's talk about the worst financial advice I've ever heard. Number one is don't invest until you've paid off all your debt. The reason this is first is because of a concept called compound interest, which essentially allows your money to grow on top of itself over time. Basically, if you wait to start investing, let's say 10 years, you could lose out on hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of growth. And obviously, being a numbers person, I've run the numbers for you. So let's say you're 22 and you invest $100 a month, nothing more between now and the time you retire at 65. You'd end up with almost $300,000. Let's say you wait 10 years and you start investing at 32 after you've paid off your student loan in full. You'd retire with $140,000. So essentially by waiting 10 years, you cut your savings in half. Number two, and this one makes me really angry, is that budgets are dumb and you don't need one. If you are someone who wants to see long-term, consistent, sustainable financial success, you need to start with a budget. The only people who say budgets are dumb are people who aren't good at saving money or don't want to get out of their own way to save money, or financial gurus who are trying to get your attention. A budget that's built correctly, meaning that it's a zero-based 3-bucket budget, should open up opportunities for you. It should give you permission to spend. It should not be feeling super restrictive. It shouldn't make you feel like you can't say yes to things. If anything, it should help you design the lifestyle that you actually want to live. Long story short, a zero-based 3-bucket budget is a budget that allocates every dollar that you earn to either an expense or a financial goal, And it categorizes everything into essential expenses, financial goals, and non-essential expenses. Number 3 is that you need a financial advisor to be financially successful. I disagree with this so deeply, especially because many financial advisors, not all, but many, don't necessarily have your best intentions at heart. And I think something that's really important to remember on your personal financial journey is that nobody cares about your money more than you do. A very small amount of financial education is plenty for the majority of people. And if you're looking to get started investing without a financial advisor, I have a free investing guide that's available on my page. Number 4 is that credit cards are bad. Credit cards are not bad unless you use them incorrectly or if you abuse them. And number 5 is that renting is throwing money away. This argument makes me so angry because it's literally a toxic push to make people feel like unless they buy property, they're wasting their money and they're never going to be financially successful. In many cases, buying property is not a financially smart move to make. And I know that that makes people angry, but you have to run the numbers.
Do you want to get takeout for dinner tonight? It sounds good, but I really shouldn't. Why not? What's going on? I literally got takeout for every single meal the past 2 days. Okay. And like, it's just starting to get like really expensive. Okay, but hear me out on this one. By you spending money at those places, you're literally helping the economy. You do realize that, right? Like, you're kind of like a lifesaver.
No, and I guess, yeah.
And like, where did you get breakfast this morning?
The local bagel shop down the street.
So you're supporting local businesses?
I mean, like, I guess.
Why can't you go to the concert? What's up?
Oh, I literally maxed out both my credit cards.
Okay.
Like, I shouldn't be spending any more money. I don't even have
Okay, but think of it this way. Eventually, when you pay it off, you're going to have so many points that you could use to, like, take a trip. Like, we could all go on a trip once you pay that off.
I don't have money to pay off the cards. So, like, I don't...
Okay, and how old are you? You're 25, right?
Yeah.
Imagine being 25 and having your life together. That doesn't seem fun, does it?
I mean, it kind of does, actually. Like, I'm really broke.
So is, like, we all are. So...
What?
What's going on with you? You seem stressed.
I just feel like I'm so financially behind.
Like, in what way?
Like, I literally don't even have a 401k started.
Oh, like a retirement fund?
Yeah, like I literally don't have one.
Yeah, I don't either. I've always gone under the impression, like, why are we thinking about what we're going to do when we're 65 when we're 25?
Well, I feel like we need money to retire.
I'll just use the money I have when I retire to live.
Yeah, but I think that's what a retirement fund is for.
I don't think that's how that works.
I think it is.
I lost out on making $9.5 million by listening to some bad advice. I found out that there was a Ferrari for sale, and it was what they call a 250 short wheelbase, 1963. Very seldom they come available, but this one was available from a lawyer who was selling it for a client who owed him for his fees. Heard about the car, flew to Miami, went to the airport, looked at the car, the fellow drove the car there, and I approved the car. And I came back to Phoenix, so excited. Talked to a fellow who knew the cars very well, and he said, "Oh, did you buy number 4318? And I said, "Yeah." "Oh, yeah." He said, "That's the one with the bad engine." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, the engine blew out of that car, and it's never been a popular car." I said, "You're kidding me." So I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I just laid up $500,000. I knew a guy in Detroit who buys Ferraris. So I picked up the phone and I called him. I said, "Look, I just bought this Ferrari for $500,000. I'll sell it to you for $600,000. I'm not interested in keeping it. It's number 4809, blah, blah, blah." This guy's a pro in the business, owned literally probably 100 Ferraris himself. He says, "Sold." I sent him the Ferrari. Phew, I got out of that one. I made $100,000. So I'm at a car show about 3 months later. I meet this guy there. I told him about the car. He said, "I sure ducked that one." He said, "Which car was it?" I said, "It was number 4318, the Ferrari 250 short wheelbase." He said, "You know what? That car is famous." "What do you mean it's famous?" He said, "Yes, it did blow up the motor, but it blew up the motor in a Ferrari-sanctioned race, and it blew a Ferrari motor out in 1963, and the factory put a new Ferrari motor in the car. That car is a very famous car to have." Well, I just recently learned that car sold for in excess of $10 million. So I had some pretty bad advice. So when you're taking advice from people, make darn sure you know where it's coming from. Good luck.
I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but if you're poor, just stop. Just stop being poor. Namaste.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, what's up?
I'm kind of short on money this month. You got any advice?
Yeah. Download Snapchat and then Friday night look at the Snap map to see where all of the parties are. Go to a party, begin taking people's car keys. drive their cars a couple of blocks away, and then go back to the party. Once you're back at the party, put the keys secretly back in the people's pockets.
All right.
Then, wait outside until the party's over. When it is and everyone is confused looking for their cars, you know where they are. Tell them that and say for $20 you'll take them to them. Then once you're there, record them getting behind the wheel while drunk. Tell them you'll show the cops the video unless they pay you $100 more. They'll pay right up.
I like that. All right. Yeah. I'll get on it.
I don't know. Maybe I might start up a business.
Well, I just think you should just start investing. Like, one of my friends, he had invested some stuff in some stocks, and he had made like $40,000 in like 2 days. You know what I'm saying? And I was thinking about investing in like a house, buying a house like 2 years ago. I would have made like 100,000, but I just didn't do it. But I feel like that's something you could do now. You know what I'm saying? Just to make that, make that income. You should have already done that, but you know what I'm saying?
I gave up my retirement accounts. I had millions of dollars sitting in retirement accounts. I paid the penalty.
Okay, this is bad advice for 99% of people who watch that video. Basically saying you shouldn't put money into retirement accounts. I grant, maybe if you're making $100 million from your businesses and real estate, then you don't need retirement accounts. He is in the 1%. The other 99% of us definitely should put money into retirement accounts. I'm sorry, Grant, but people cannot relate to you. This is just bad blanket advice from a multimillionaire.
Because climate change has been increasing at a rapid pace every year, that means you have less time to spend all of your money. So if you are investing in a 401k, stocks, or real estate, it's time to just pull all of that out and spend it, because at this point, who knows how much time we have left, and we are entering 1929 2.0, so you might as well live while you can.
If you want to build for your kid's future, take out a credit card in their name, but not to build credit, to destroy it. I have 18 different credit cards maxed out in my son's name, and his credit score is a dumpster fire. Without paying upfront in cash, he will never be able to buy a home. He will never be able to buy a car, but he will have something priceless. Motivation.
Old-fashioned. What is the most old school, old-fashioned, terrible financial advice you've ever received? I'll go first. Don't waste your money renting. You're going to be giving your money to a landlord. Buy a house, it becomes an automatic asset. Who said that? Baby, hate to break it to you, but that is not true. Okay, when you are a homeowner, it comes with a ton of other financial burdens, like the mortgage, homeowner's insurance, HOA fees, taxes. Anything breaks, it's on your ass, and you will have to fix it. It is not an immediate asset. A home is also not super easy to liquidate, so you cannot just go to the bank, sell it, and ask for your money. So please stop telling people that buying a home is the only way to grow wealth. That's not true.